Hello everyone. Welcome to a Sunday live stream. I forgot that I went to the bank yesterday. It's kind of crazy. The day was so long. Anyways, something was eating me today, so I decided to just talk about it. I want to talk about what's annoying me, and for the past couple of hours I've been thinking of something and it's just getting very annoying. So, let's start talking about the climate change stuff, because that has been hitting me for so long. I don't feel so comfortable when I think of these thoughts because it always takes me away from what I'm trying to do or what I should do. So how do we discuss this? I mentioned before in my previous live streams that the climate change is overhyped. It's overhyped. A lot of people will not want you to believe this, but it's overhyped. It's so overhyped. It's more hyped than any celebrity. Speaking of celebrities, celebrities promote this. They always promote this, saying that something bad is going to happen. We have to act. That's it. That's it. Um, and we also have people trying to destroy artwork from people of yore. We recently had people take, I don't even know what they took. I think they took a can of something and threw it on a couple of pieces of artwork. Thank goodness those paintings had glass shields over them, because if they did not, then oh my goodness, it's destroyed, right? And it's kind of terrifying that we're living in this age. We're living in the age where it's okay to destroy something of others. It does not matter because only your feelings matter. That's what timeline we're living in. Okay, for some reason it says no data. How does that make sense? I don't even know. So we're living in an age where everyone just feels like destroying something. They feel like it's okay to it's okay to conform to the government every time, you know? This is my generation. For the past few days, I've been getting spooked on my own generation because Gen Z is not a generation you should take lightly. They lack a lot of things and they don't care about anyone else. It's sad to see that this is my generation. My generation is very terrible. They don't know how to do stuff. And this is not generalizing everyone. There are some good people in Gen Z that obviously know what's going on, but for the rest of them, they don't know what's going on. They refuse to care. And not just politically, but of course for the environment. They always talk about taking care of the environment, to aid the environment, but they don't do any of that. They litter. They could care less about actually helping the environment. What else? All they do is talk. That's all they do. Talk. And it's just embarrassing. Secondly, is the over relying on politicians. I get that we all need someone to represent our views in those major places, but this is not something that's going to be solved by politicians. If you want to take care of the environment, you do it yourself. You don't need these money hungry politicians to soak you dry. Many people who are totally fine with these politicians mocking you, taking advantage of you, many of those people, they live fantastic lives. They live rich lives and would care less about you. They don't want you to own something. They don't want you to have natural animals, natural fruits, vegetables. They want you to live how they want to, basically, in a very disturbing worldview, basically. So, if I want to live like a normal person. That's unacceptable. You have to now get rid of everything. You have to own absolutely no such item, and you just have to conform. When they snap their fingers, you're supposed to dance. You're supposed to smile. It reminds me of that Simpsons episode, that Treehouse of Horror episode where Flanders becomes the leader of the world, I think, and then all of a sudden, um, what happens? Everyone's just conforming and stuff like that. And Omar does not want to conform, and then he's chased around. So that's what this scenario reminds me of. People are too afraid to not comply now. We have people just doing it for the sake of doing it as well. They pretend to care about these things. It's ridiculous. When it comes to the climate, it's overhyped. This climate change thing is overhyped. And people have been overhyping it since last century. Okay? And here's the thing, the earth will always change. And whether we like it or not, the earth will always change. I don't like pollution as much as the next person. But let's face the fact that some people are just taking advantage over the people who want to take care of the environment. Because there are people out there who are very genuine about taking care of the environment, and they end up falling flat and believing in crazy things, crazy conspiracies. If you want to take care of the climate, you have to understand the climate. You have to realize that you don't need to purchase every single iPhone, because those iPhones, they are made by obviously slaves. And let's not forget the fact that the parts come from unearthing items from the ground. So basically, you are destroying natural ground to build these stuff. Now, I'm not anti-technology. I think that all this technical advancements is great. But I have this problem with people who always want to preach to me about the environment. They always jump to the next technical advancement, and then they complain to me about something that I own, you know? They don't want me to live a normal life. But for them, they can purchase all these fancy technologies. They can drive all the fancy cars. They can live in the worst polluted environments. But I can't live in a nice natural environment. You see what's going on. They're trying their best to basically live their life and mock those who want to live a natural life. And it's not hypocrisy, it's hierarchy. Basically, since they rule things, they have people listening to them. Whatever they say, it has to happen. They don't care if they're hypocrites. They don't care if they mess their own words up. For them, it's totally fine. This is very dangerous because in the next 10 years, things are going to be much more worse. We're going to be having much more movements coming out. Movements that support degeneracy. Movements that support destruction. And we're already seeing some examples like today. We have people who believe that violence can solve everything. We have people who believe that the best way to help the environment is to destroy it even more. We have people who think to end racism, the best way to end racism is to continue it with more racism. You see what's going on? Instead of depleting something, they just continue it, but it's just a different rhythm, They continue it, but it's just a different rhythm. And people are going to take a long time to start realizing this, that they're just being taken advantage of. It's mostly happening in Western countries, yes, but even in my country, people are believing in this, They're being lied to. They refuse to be normal, and that's the problem. That's the problem, The world is being run by a bunch of people who don't care about actual science. They don't care about people's lives. They just want to rule things, and that's basically it. I wish I scripted this video because before this video, I was having all the awesome arguments in my head. I was just thinking of all the awesome stuff, how to say stuff properly, and then all of a sudden when I make this live stream, everything falls apart. But seriously though, things are going to be falling in the future, and conservatives need to do something because we are conservatives. We're supposed to conserve stuff, and it's not just conserving culture, but of course conserving everything around us. And we have to conserve beauty, we have to conserve nature, we have to conserve morals, we have to conserve a lot of things. And it's sad to see that many conservatives don't do this, but we should do this because this is what we're supposed to do. People of yore were very protective of nature. They were very close to nature. It's sad because if you look what many conservatives with suit and ties, you know for a fact that they were supporting big businesses. And there's nothing wrong with supporting a business you like. Let's just say you support a company and they make fantastic products. That's good, not a big problem. The problem comes when these same companies you supported for decades or so, they now turn around and backstab you. Many of these companies are now going woke. They refuse to pander to regular conservatives. They literally do not want conservatives to support them. After years of conservatives fighting for them to do whatever they want, for them to get more richer, they end up getting backstabbed. And that's what I have to say. Conservatives need to realize that it's not just about money, it's also about nature. Without understanding nature, we won't really understand ways to get money, because the old way of just supporting big business doesn't work anymore, because these big businesses do not want us. They say it openly on social media. They tell it to our faces. They do not want us. You know, for years they were saying this. We're not welcome in their spaces because we think differently, and that's harmful. And it's really sad because so many conservatives would bow to them, would literally support them, fight for them, and this is how they get treated. So conservatives need to start realizing that nature is important as well. Sometimes it's best to be self-sustained than rely too much on the government. Some conservatives are realizing this, and more conservatives will realize this in the future. We have to conserve nature. We have to conserve the forests. We have to conserve this world, not because those people protesting and sticking themselves to cars. We have to do this because this is our world. This is our world. This is our world where we have to do a lot to protect this world. It's our world. Why should we not protect it? I've been trying my best not to litter for years, trying to reduce a lot of things, you know. So at the end of the day, I was conserving things, trying to conserve nature. I feel like I can do better, yes. And many conservatives can do better as well. I think the culture needs to change when it comes to conservatism, not just when it comes to business, but when it also comes to nature. Because it's time that we start taking care about nature, taking care for animals, conserving animals. Rhinos are basically almost extinct. They are on the brink of extinction. We cannot allow that, you know? And here's the thing, conservatives can easily help out. And that's the best part about this, you know? All it takes is just a little bit of understanding. And I'm sure conservatives, many of us, will start realizing that the environment is our duty, not theirs, not the woke people. You know why? Because the woke people don't give a crap. They want to live in congested spaces. They want to live in these big, fugly cities. and they want to live in smaller spaces. They don't want you to own anything. They don't want you to have private property. They don't want you to think differently. They don't want to take care of the environment. They don't. They're doing it because it's a trend. It's a trend. Just like many people when it came to BLM, they were doing it because it's a trend. They pretending to care for the environment. You'll see them driving these fancy cars and going holidays, expensive places, you know, buying from companies that promote a lot of pollution. Those same people go after you if you say something wrong on social media, or basically say something right and it offends one person. They go after you. They go after you with pitchforks and torches. And that same energy, they have for attacking you for saying innocent stuff, that same energy could be used to rally up and not purchase from major corporations that pollute too much. They always say pollution is bad, and yes, it's true, but they don't do anything about it. They don't care. They really don't care. They'll be supporting those companies that pollute every day, okay? They won't give up their own private stuff because well, when it comes to private stuff, I'm talking about fancy technology. They won't give it up. They won't give it up, even for the sake of fighting for the climate. They won't. They won't. You know. The next thing is obviously they want us to change our diet. They want us to change our diet. They want us to not eat meat or not eat natural vegetables. They want us to only eat feign stuff. Basically things made from the lab. They want us to eat just feign meat. That's pointless. That's very pointless. If I wanted to eat, uh, something that's not meat, I would go for vegetables. If I wanted to eat something that's not vegetables, I would eat meat. Now it's all about trying to make everything so disgusting and so weird. They don't complain about fast food restaurants. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong to eat from fast food restaurants, but these people don't care. It's fatphobic to call things out. So they aren't going to be talking about things. They aren't going to be calling out these fast food restaurants. Eating healthy is offensive. It's now offensive. So you can't eat healthy. You have to eat these terrible foods made by people who did not test it. Times are getting stranger, and conservatives need to start realizing that we have to understand the world, not just our pockets. If we understand nature, we will get rich. I'm not saying this for the sake of wanting to get rich. I'm saying this because it's our moral job. Once we realize that this is our world, we have to protect it. Conservatives will start to realize these things, and they'll know where to place their money. They will know how to earn money, because these days they don't even know how to do these things, because companies have backstabbed them, As I said earlier, companies have backstabbed people for years. They don't want our money, and those are the same companies that pollute so much. And I'm fine with that. If they don't want our money, I'm fine. I'm going to spend it on someone else who actually deserves my money, These companies backstabbed us, and now what? Now what? We just have to realize that we can't be shilling for these major corporations anymore. These major corporations will not get us any further. If they were willing to give up everyone, which they did, then what makes you think that supporting them always will make things better? Money matters, absolutely, but we need to realize that nature also matters. Now let's focus on the main meat of this video. Children. Most of the people who, who complain so much about the climate and do nothing, refuse to do anything. They want you to live in a pod, eat bugs. They don't want you to farm. They don't want you to have natural stuff. They don't want you to live a normal life. Those are the same people that aren't going to be having children. They refuse to have children. And then they get angry when you have a child. They don't want children. And it's not a debate about wanting or not. It's the honest truth about saying it as it is. The earth is ours because it's for our future, you know? Most of these woke people, they are not going to be breathing. I'm going to be breathing. I'm going to be passing the next generation. I'm going to be having the next generation. This world has to be protected for that next generation. So overall, it's very easy to see through the lies of many of these activists because they don't care about people. You know that. Um, I really wish this video was scripted because I have so much of interesting points, but it falls flat because I'm speaking like an imbecile. Um, at the end of the day, the best way to heal the climate is to conserve it, and conservatives can do that. I'm 100% sure of it. If we conservatives start realizing that, we will get things done. We will do things, get things done. People of the old days, they were very conservative, very traditional, and they were very close to the environment. These days, it seems that you have to be you have to be a woke person to be close to the environment, which does not make sense because woke people are literally not next to the environment. They're not part of the environment at all. Sorry about this weird video. I just wanted to get my thoughts out. I've been stressing on this for some time and it's crazy. It really is crazy to see how my generation is falling for stuff like this. I really hope things get better. I know things will get better, but we also have to do something about it. So I always have to say that conservatives have to do something, protect something, defend something, not just politics but nature, because this is our world. This is our world for the future. Woke people will always pervert this world. They don't care about the nature. They just want to pervert it. They just want to pervert your children. They just want to pervert everything. They don't care. But conservatives care. They have so much of care for these big businesses. If they put that same energy towards nature, they would be perfect. So, obviously, conservatives will be doing better stuff in the future. My voice hurts so much. It hurts so much. I've been speaking for 23 minutes non-stop. But I feel like I'm right on this situation and I look forward to see more conservatives start defending stuff. I'll be right back. I need to bring some tea. Okay, I have some tea. It's pretty hot, but I'm gonna drink it because my throat really hurts. Oh wow, it's actually pretty warm. Okay. Ow. Alright then. So my throat feels slightly better. It feels like I took a small slice of butter and I rubbed it in my throat. That's what it feels like. Okay, okay. So we went through this discussion and I feel very sad. I still feel sour when you talk about these things because there are people out there who needs to hear this and they won't hear this, you know. Anyways, moving on. Moving on. It is almost Christmas. And you know what that means. Basically, Christmas songs being played every second, which I don't mind. A lot of people do not like that. I like Christmas songs. I really do. But it has to be played during Christmas time. It cannot be played randomly. Like, why would it be played randomly? So, here we are. Oh great, it gets stuck. I don't like when it gets stuck. Okay. Oh my goodness, it's stuck.